What's going on, melon farmers? DMAC back with another sliders video. I did get a couple of comments talking about my other sliders video saying, "Oh, you didn't go in depth. It was kind of lazy." There was other comments saying I'd like a more in-depth one. So you know what? We're gonna do a more in-depth one. All right. So first of all, this is gonna be for, let's say, be a pro, right? So we're gonna go. I'm just gonna make these for the every player. This is every person who just plays NHL casually, stuff like that. Personally, I play on Superstar, but I would recommend for anyone just playing casually, just trying to have fun, maybe drop it to All Star. I like to do 10-minute periods because I just don't like. I don't like the games to take so long, especially for like my YouTube videos and everything. I just don't like the games to drag on too long. So I do 10-minute periods, but it doesn't matter. You can always put them up to 20. It ain't no thing, but for just for the sake of pacing in the video, I'll leave it at 10. My preferred camera is dynamic high. Anyway, so 10 minutes, all-star difficulty. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's go to rules. That's another important one. Fighting, I put it on 2 of 2. I like there to be a relative amount of fighting in the games. Penalty, 3 of 4. Otherwise, it gets a little excessive. But for penalty time scaling, because I have it set on 10-minute periods, I like to put the penalty time scaling down to 2 of 6. That way, when you're on the power play, when you're on the penalty kill, it doesn't take a month to get through the game because, and especially for like franchise mode, right? The second there's special teams time, it's like you're on that special teams forever. But if you put it down to 2 out of 6, it's just a little tiny bit slowed down from the normal speed or whatever setting you have it on. So I am going to do Be a Pro, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do franchise mode sliders. So yeah, penalty time scaling on 2 out of 6. Coincidental penalty time scaling, 0 out of 6. Then we'll go into the gameplay sliders. Gameplay sliders is where we get a little more in-depth. Attribute effects I like to put up to 10 out of 10. Broken stick frequency, I always put it down to 27. Game speed I like to have at 1 out of 6. I like to slow the game down a little bit. I don't like when it gets too fast. There's a lot more injuries, stuff like that. So I do like to put it down to 1 out of 6. Slows the game down, gives it more of a realistic feel. It's not quite as aggressive. Fatigue effect though, I usually put up to about 75. That way you get more tired. You're not just full energy all the time. Fatigue recovery, I put down to 25. So it takes longer to recover. So for injury occurrence, I put the CPU down to 45. Otherwise, they are just everyone's injured all the time. And then for human, I leave it up to 50. All right. So the skating, I don't really touch too much. I do change it for franchise mode. But for Be a Pro, which is what we're doing right now, I tend to leave that alone a little bit. For shooting, though, I take one-timer accuracy, I turn it down by 2. Shot accuracy, I take it and turn it down by 5. Shot power, I leave it alone. Slap shot accuracy, turn that way down to 35. Because slap shots aren't that accurate. Slap shot, it's very difficult to score on a slap shot. Slap shot power is totally fine. So there you go. Go to passing, pass assist, I turn down to 25. Minimum pass speed, I leave alone, but maximum pass speed, turn up a little bit. Saucer pass speed up to 55. Pass accuracy, I turn down. Pass interceptions, leave that at 80. It's pretty high anyway. And pretty much the rest of passing. Oh yeah, puck control rating effect, I turn up to about 55. Puck speed reception effect, we can leave that alone. And yeah, for the most part, the rest of passing we can leave it alone. All right, puck control's down at 20 anyway. So deking impact we'll put up at 55. Spin deke impact we'll put up to 55. Remembering that this is just for Be a Pro. Goalie cover frequency I put it up to 60. Goalie passing leave at 70. Cross crease reaction time I turn up to 54. Save reaction time, 54. Deflection reaction time, 54. And the rest is all about the screen effect and stuff like that. I'll leave that alone. The checking, I got no problem with the checking. Except, where is it? Size effect. You gotta put the size effect up to like 35. You got someone who's 6'8", 250 pounds coming at you, buddy's gonna mangle you. And he should. Speed effect, will turn that up slightly as well. Checking balance rating effect is very high, and that is totally fine by me. Preparedness effect, will turn that up a little bit too. So if you're kind of expecting the hit, you're kind of bracing yourself for the hit anyway, you'll have a slightly better chance at not getting demolished. Incidental contact effect will do 24. Poke check accuracy, it's fine where it is. Poke checking power is fine where it is. Stick lift effectiveness, all that's fine where it is. Penalties, I do not touch them. But the AI learning, leave at 6. CPU difficulty adjustment. For Be a Pro, I put at 3. CPU strategy adjustment, I put up to 4. And there you go. Those are the Be a Pro sliders that I personally like, or very close to the ones that I use for my main save, not the one for YouTube, but the one that I just play on my own. Now, the real fun one is for franchise mode. So hold on, we're gonna go back and try this again. I think what I might do is end this part of the video, and then I'm going to switch over to my actual franchise and then just go through all the sliders that I use for my main franchise. All right, so we're back. Now I'm on a different console, so I had to had to mess with all my stuff here. Anyway, so this is my main franchise mode that I started, let's say, a couple of weeks ago. I'm in my first season. It's January 17th. I am playing all of the games from the beginning of the second period. We have a 31-7-6 record. Our top guy, after 44 games, has 56 points. And the way I've got it set up is nice for, as you can see, there's only 2 guys above a point per game. And it is really because they had like 2 or 3 games where they just absolutely dominated. But otherwise, I mean, a lot of the scoring in this series, in this franchise mode, is like nice and low. Look, we got our third liners like Jason Dickinson, Teddy Bluger. Those guys have like 17 points apiece. So by the end of the season, Dickinson's injured right now, but by the end of the season, they should have like 30 to 35 points. If they have a nice big game at some point, like a 2 or 3 point night in one of the games I jump into, then it's like now they're on like a 35 to 38 point pace, which is totally good with me for a third liner. We got like Rudolph's Balsers, who is kind of the guy running the fourth line. You know what I mean? And he's got 16 points. He's likely going to end the season at 28, 29 points. Got no beef with that. You look at my goaltending, we got Aiden Hill. We got a 1A, 1B kind of system. Aiden Hill, 25 games played. He's got a 924, 2.37, 1 shutout. Great stats. We got Johnny Quick, 2 shutouts in 20 games, 927, 2.28 goals against average. It's like great goaltending stats. And if you look at their shots against, in 25 games, he's got 764 shots against. He's facing, what is that, 31 shots a night kind of thing? Jonathan Quick, 31 shots a night. That's what they're facing, 30 to 31 shots. So you're getting plenty of shots against, which is always a big issue for me, right? So anyway, we are going to go and take a look before this gets way too long. We're going to go and take a look at the settings that I got set up here. The sliders, the settings. First, we'll go into rules. And yes, I know the first thing you're going to say is, first off, period length, I got set to 7 minutes. Fighting, 1 of 2. Penalties, 3 of 4. Difficulty, pro. But I'll show you why. So we've got, where is it? Auto rotate goalies I turn off because it actually drives me bonkers when it's like, okay, we got back-to-backs. The first game of the back-to-backs is against a weak team. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to manually, physically go into the edit lines, put my backup goaltender in net. Perfect, right? Great. So we play the game with the backup goalie facing the weaker team. And then the second night of back-to-backs, we're facing a very tough team. So I will physically go in and put the starter in net, jump into the game, your backup's back in the net, and he gets absolutely destroyed because he just played 2 nights in a row. And the second half of back-to-backs was against like a President's Trophy team. Anyway, so then we go down even farther where sim engine scoring I have on low. And shot frequency I just left medium, so it's not like, the shots aren't like 20 to 20 after 1 period. No, it's still on medium. Shots are usually like 8 to 11 shots per team per period kind of thing. Penalty time scaling is always down to 2 out of 6. We've got coincidental penalty time scaling down to 2 out of 6. So that's all good. Now we'll move on to the real star of the show, the actual gameplay sliders, where we got attribute effects at 10 out of 10 as always. Broken stick frequency up at 30 from 27 in the Be A Pro. Game speed still at 1. Fatigue effect, 75. Fatigue recovery, 27. Injury occurrence, 45 for the CPU, 50 for humans. Now, here's the thing when it comes to Pro. What I like to do, because Pro is way too easy if you just leave it on the default sliders, right? So the thing I like to do is put it on Pro difficulty, handicap myself a little bit, right? So we go to the skating where the CPU player acceleration is at 50, human 47. So when I'm skating, I am slower than what the other team is. But because it's on Pro difficulty, it actually just kind of balances it out a little bit. Skating speed 50, 47 for humans. Skating agility 50, 47 for humans. Shooting, again, all the shooting accuracies except for shot power, I did put down a little bit. Like one-timer accuracy was 50, I put it to 48. Shot accuracy was 45, I put it to 43. Shot power was 50, left it alone. Slap shot accuracy down to 38 from 40. And that's all she wrote for that one. I think the passing I actually kind of left alone on this one. Yeah, passing I left alone on franchise mode. I noticed franchise mode does play differently from Be A Pro. So the passing we left alone, puck control and stuff, we did leave alone. But goaltenders, 55 up for, I believe it's 45 when it's default, up to 55. Goalie passing is 70. Cross crease reaction time 55 for CPU and human. Save reaction time 55. Deflection reaction time 55. That way you do not get crazy goals against for the goaltenders that you're facing. If you leave it at 50 and it's on Pro difficulty, even if you nerf your speed, even if you nerf accuracy, the goaltending is so damn bad that you're still going to put up 7 goals a game. Turn the goaltending up to 55. They have the other team's goaltender has a shot at actually making some of those saves, right? So I'll show you back in the calendar the final scores in a lot of these games. They're actually most of the games are actually relatively low scoring games, like 3-2, 4-3, stuff like that. Checking I left alone. Penalties I left alone, but the AI. 6 out of 6 AI learning, 4 out of 6 CPU difficulty adjustment, CPU strategy adjustment, 3 out of 6. Anyway, so now that we're done over there, let's jump over to the calendar. Like I said, it's January 17th. Still in the first year, I just made this. So let's go back, should we do December? Sure. Okay, so we'll go to November 30th, right? 3-2 shootout loss. And I jump into every game. 7-2 win. Yeah, there are some games where you're jumping in against a bad team, you're just going to dominate them, right? Then 7-6 OT loss. Every time we scored, Anaheim just turned around and got it right back instantly. 5-2 win. 3-2 loss. 5-4 OT loss. 4-2 win. 4-1 win. 3-2 win. 4-2 win. 6-2 win. Followed by a 3-1 loss, 5-2 win, 3-2 win, 4-2 loss, 3-1 win, 4-3 overtime win. Nice shutout, 5-0 game against St. Louis, 4-2 win, 3-2 overtime loss, and most recently against the Columbus Blue Jackets, a 4-3 win. See, the scoring isn't crazy in this, and I am playing every game. It's what you can play this on Pro difficulty and it can still be an interesting experience. The nice thing is when it is on Pro difficulty, the game is not overly aggressive. It is more laid back, so it can be a more realistic game. You get the puck off the opening faceoff for a period, back to your defender. You now have a second to set yourself, figure out where you want to pass the puck, throw it to your other defender. You can play dump and chase is pretty effective. It's a more relaxed, laid-back game. You are going to give up goals pretty much every single game. But the nice thing about having simulation scoring on low as well is you can skip the first period, jump in the second period, so your game's not going to be insanely long. It takes about 20 minutes to play a game. That's not that bad. If I got 2-3 hours to kill, then I can just play hockey. I can get through like 8-9 games, say 7 games, while I'm doing other franchise stuff, looking up the draft class, checking up stats, taking screenshots and doing whatever else. Yeah, just scouting, looking around the league for players to see maybe I want to make a trade at the deadline or something, so you can like pre-scout players, look at, but it really, really speeds it all up, and you can actually get through a ton of games in a very short amount of time. And that's, I don't know, I find that like a lot of fun. I can play the game on All-Star in franchise mode. I can play the game on Superstar on franchise mode. But the thing is, it's so anxiety bringing. It just, all that does when you play, in my opinion, when you play on Superstar difficulty and you're actually in playing the games, you are anxious, you're angry all the time. Even if you're winning, you could win the game 8-0 on Superstar difficulty, and you're going to be so angry at the end of that game. Your controller's going to be half broken. Your kneecaps are going to be aching from punching your legs all day. It's like, it's not worth it. It's like, just slow the game down. Put it on pro difficulty, slow the game down, play it, relax. I swear, you can go down 5-0 in a game, and you won't care. You'll be totally okay with it. Because it's a lot more relaxed, and it's, in my opinion, a lot more fun. Anyway, that's just my opinion. You can put it on All-Star if you want, even for someone who's just a casual player of the game. Put it on All-Star if you want. It's more of a challenge. Not crazy or anything, but it is slightly more of a challenge. But with pro difficulty, you can just focus on cycling, making smart passes, just playing a more slowed down, realistic kind of version of hockey. And by the end of the season, if you're not going full hero mode, full try hard, by the end of a season, you can have relatively realistic stats. Like my leading guy in 44 games has 56 points. That is great. He is on pace for about 100 points this season. But I looked around the league, and it's not out of line with any other team that is near or at the top of the standings. It's not out of line with any of those teams. They all have someone around there. Nathan McKinnon in this franchise mode leads the league in points, and he's well above my guy. He's like 60 points in 45 games or something. So he's going to smash 100 points like it ain't no thing. Connor McDavid's right up there. I think McDavid has 1 or 2 more points than my leading guy as well. And it's like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Anyway, so sorry if this video got a little bit long-winded, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys these sliders and kind of explain myself as well. Personally, if you want my opinion, I think franchise mode is a lot more fun than Be a Pro. And yes, I mean if you jump in and actually play the games. You know what I mean? It's a much more immersive experience. I like to create like 40, 50 people of various ages, throw them in the game, and then track them all, track their careers, maybe pick a few of them up. Like I have 2 created people on my team, but I've got like 20 of them in the league that have already been drafted, but I only have like 2 of them. But I got them all watch listed, and I like to keep track of them and follow their careers. A lot of them aren't NHL ready yet. There's 72 overall, straight out of the draft, or they're like 65 overall out of the draft. I got other people that are like 60 overall that are in upcoming drafts. I got people that are 22 years old, undrafted, just got picked up by a team. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more immersive than Be a Pro. Be a Pro is a pretty package with kind of a turd in it. You know what I mean? But anyway, rant over. I've been rambling long enough. There's going to be, this weekend, I'm thinking I'm going to do 2 videos on the weekend. One on Saturday, one on Sunday. Probably going to do a DMAC Be a Pro, and then probably going to do a Sergei Galiev defenseman for Sunday. Both those series, I'm having a lot of fun with both of those series again. It's finally fun to play my Be a Pro again. It's like I kind of got over that hatred of Vegas, and it's just fun to play hockey again. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something here. I hope you guys found this entertaining or useful or what have you. If you're new here, like and subscribe if you haven't already. There's new videos coming all the freaking time. And until next time, all you beautiful melon farmers out there, have a good one.